In Minecraft speedrunning, there is a category where players are tasked to mine every block in a 16 by 16 area, all the way down to y-64. The category Mine a Chunk has been nearly perfected in its strategy, allowing players to reach times as low as 39 minutes. But there is one speedrun no one has ever even thought of attempting. Let me introduce you to Minecraft Fill a Chunk. The category seems easy enough, right? Just find a mountain and fill the blocks up to height limit. Well, no. You see, when I say fill a chunk, I'm abiding by the rules of the Mine a Chunk category. Create a region of space filled only by air blocks. This means that to do the opposite, we have to be 100% sure that all blocks in a 16 by 16 by 385 block area are entirely solid blocks. This led us to strategy number 1. Our first idea was to mine an entire chunk down to y-64 and then fill in the chunk up to y-320. And while this would work, it is highly impractical due to the fact that it would double our runtime. You might be thinking, just mine a checkerboard pattern like so to verify every block is filled. Now, that was our second idea. However, it is technically inefficient due to multiple tunnels seeing the same blocks. We need a grid that would allow every block to be uncovered in the chunk with minimal tunnels dug. After brainstorming a few hours, we came to the final pattern. This pattern on screen is the most efficient way to check every block for gaps in the whole chunk. So, we started up a world and got to it. The first part of stage 1 was to gather tons of resources while I mapped out the grid. The reason for all the resources was because after digging each tunnel down to bedrock, you needed to make your way back up. But filling in the gaps you find will lose you a lot of blocks, meaning unless you get a perfect tunnel, you would need extra blocks to make it back up. After the grid was done, the crew got to it. We had one member join a little late, but his job was to collect and distribute resources to the hole diggers. But there was a problem. Due to Bedrock Edition split screen being so small, it was so hard to see the name tags. This meant that the distributor would have a hard time getting the blocks in the right tunnel. So instead of using coordinates like lame virgin nerd losers, we devised a Giga Chad von Muscleman Einstein strat that consisted of a unique block being placed above one's hole to use as a call sign. Pretty epic. Now back to me. What was my job? Well, you see, we can't just be focused on digging and filling the ground level blocks, as that only verifies up to Y level 64. There's still... hang on. 16 by 16 by 256. That many blocks left to fill. We need to find a way to prepare to fill that so we can overlap tasks and not be wasting time. Here's another roadblock though. In order to fill up every block from Y64 up to Y320, that would take a whopping 65,536 blocks to do. That's 16,384 logs, because we're using wood for efficiency, or 5 double chests full of stacks of logs. And for reference,
if it takes 37 milliseconds to mine one log, it would take 10 hours for one person to gather enough resources to fill an entire chunk, let alone place them.
So that strategy was off the table. How else could we possibly fill blocks more efficiently or quicker than just mining them and placing them down? That's when Ito had a great idea. We have one person pillar to height limit and copy the grid used to check below the surface in the air. We'd then pour lava on each of the blocks and put water in the middle to float down to surface level, creating 4 pillars of cobblestone in only minutes. The only thing we would have to do is then fill in the middle of each pillar. After creating a layer of cobble above the chunk to prevent lava from burning all of our progress, I pillared up to just about height limit and created a nether portal. Very unfortunately, however, the portal in the nether did not link up to the one in the sky, forcing me to re-pillar up. Back in the Nether, I attempted to relocate the Nether portal to the coordinates matching the one in the overworld. But because I'm stupid and bad at Minecraft, I actually had a somewhat run-saving death. Wait, what? Let me explain. Bedrock Edition is already not very optimized at all, having so many bugs and glitches that can happen even while running on a NASA supercomputer. The platform was created with Pocket Edition in mind, and kind of poorly ported over to console and Windows 10. Because we're running split screen on our second setup, the game would frequently lag for that setup and cause some of the previously placed blocks to become ghost blocks. Even though we had placed every block, we frequently had to double check to make sure blocks didn't disappear below us. Now, if I had been pouring lava the whole time, it would have caused more frequent and worse lag spikes, creating even more ghost blocks and possibly making a block disappear and our record incomplete. After recouping and gathering more stuff and accidentally crafting an iron chestplate, we were now in the end game. I poured lava over every block in the grid, and the gang got to making sure our wood supply would make it to the end. At least until they started trying to trap Ito in a square I made in the wall. But now came to the most satisfying part, the lava casting. I would put water inside the lava source blocks and quickly break the block below it, allowing water to cobblify all of the lava down to the platform I made. We were now in the final stretch. All we had to do was fill the center of each lava pillar, and so... After getting down to only 10 pillars to fill, we realized we didn't have enough blocks. Now we could have prevented this if instead of trying to trap Ito in a hole, the gang gathered wood, but it doesn't matter at this point. Everyone was tasked to go out and get one stone axe worth of wood and bring it back to the chunk, until Gavin found a diamond axe that had been placed by the Minecraft gods in his inventory and got to chopping trees. This was it. We had made it to Y316 and would place down the final blocks of the run.
I will react genuinely.
What do you mean, how do you genuinely react to something?
Genuinely.
Wait, let me place the last one. Okay?
CJ,
Leave
no
one
shot.
block.
I will not. I'll play. I'm just gonna
Nope,
play.
stop.
World record, CJ. World record. World record.
I've done it! Let's go! We had done it. We had filled in every block in a 16 by 16 by 385 block area. Except we hadn't. You remember when I talked about the ghost blocks? On a last inspection in spectator mode, we found 4 missing blocks in one of the tunnels. 4 blocks. That's all it took to lose the whole run. Now there is an argument that technically we did place those blocks. The incredible game of Bedrock Edition just decided that they actually shouldn't exist. What do you think?